and connected and cozy kind of. So if you're still in bed, oh my dear, it's already 9, past 9 actually. So if you're in Nigeria, if you're in another part of the country, I don't know what time it is. I can't start putting that together. But one thing is this: if you're in Nigeria, I'm on Nigeria. It is time for you to go all out. It is time for you to establish yourself. It's time for you to seek. It is time for you to find. It's time for you to knock. It is time for you to explore and evolve. Because, you know what I mean? You can't stand on one spot and be looking. You must not. You dare not. It's time for you to pull and to push until something great, something acknowledgeable happens. So it's another beautiful morning, and this is Galactic Television. The program is Family and Values. Family and Values is a program that is set all out for you, for me, for Joy, for Crown, for Kayode, for all our viewers, even our remote be here, to be all out to seek ourselves once again, find ourselves once again. Are we, put ourselves on that chair? Are we doing the right thing? Scale yourself, and you are adding more weight. You check and say, I don't overweight, I need to calm down. And know where you are going to scrap out of those little things that you're doing that you think is convenient, but doesn't have value to your family, to your life, to your well-being, to your personality, to the children that you're raising, to the family that you're growing, and to the generations that are yet to come. And it's time for us to also look out for ourselves. So that's what we do here on Family and Values. It's all about family, from the father to the mother to the uncle to the aunt to the children and everybody, to the nieces and the nephews. So grandma and grandpa, please, everybody come back. It's time for us to talk again. And you can always be part of Family and Values every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on Galactic Television on all our social media platforms. You are not missing out because it's always on the go. All our programs are always on the go. So, what are you waiting for? It's another privilege for me. I am called Olori Adikete Abi David. My friends call me Olori AJ. I hope you had a splendid night rest, even though it's all cold. How many of you use AC overnight, or you use your fan? If you do, I do like this for you. We're done. Hey God, how are you? How was the night?
Well, you just said it.
Did you rest well?
Well,
Did you use your fan?
I did.
I have to slide the windows and drop the curtain. I don't want it. Sure, let me just feel the warmth of myself. That kind of thing. But if you have your husband, like Aremoto be and it's okay.
We'll get back to that.
But tell me, how did you sleep? That's my first question first before you tell us.
Actually, did I really sleep? No, I did not, because I was watching out for the kids. I was trying to make sure that everybody was well covered and resting. And because I had running results all the night, so waking up and sneezing and had to take hot water, trying to just
yeah,
myself.
And I trust that your boy area very cold.
Very, very cold. As it is very, very cold. Yeah.
Well,
a very good morning to you, our esteemed viewers. Yes, another opportunity, another day on Family and Value. Today is Wednesday, midweek. Of course, when you get to Wednesday, just know that one day, the weekend is just coming anyway. Yeah, the weekend is coming. My name is Princess Joy Ayo. This morning I'll quickly say something. Please, the weather is cold. Cover the children. Protect your children. Don't let them go to school without carpets, without something hot to keep them warm, please. Their food should be warm. Yeah, it's very important in this period so that we don't come down with crises at home. Try and get vitamin C for them. Yeah, it's very important. At least 10 a day to help whatever it is allergies they're going to have. Welcome to the show from Sister, another exciting, informative, and educative show. Don't forget we are streaming across all our social media platforms. Download the Rising Over app so that you can watch us on the go. Like I used to say, when you see these pretty faces on the screen, it's time for Family and Values. Welcome to the show. Enjoy and relax.
Okay, so as you sit down to enjoy and relax and enjoy the show, when you talk about trying to keep the children warm, something else occurred to me because these days you see our children leaving home earlier than necessary. As I was coming, there was drizzling, you know,
Actually, just around the cage
And-
axis, yeah.
and I'm wondering, what of children leave home very early? Do we now plan it in such a way that you have a way to keep them warm? In what way? Someone asked me, but we didn't know it then to
You know, actually said it.
You know, parents will always
Yeah,
find
parents will
because
always find the way
Of course,
out.
you can't. Nobody's perfect
Mhm.
actually. So I would suggest. I remember many years back, I made that suggestion. So I said, "Well, it's actually a good idea, but this economy now, I don't know whether it's applicable." Now, there are ways you can actually make possible warmth. Some schools will always have cardigan for the children. Now, if you are the type of parent that you know that you can afford to have two, or you have two different ones, okay, maybe she will use the one for school in school,
Then use the one at home.
the one from home, you have to keep it. You have one at home that is not school cardigan, and because some school want always on their branded stuff.
Yeah, correct.
So you can always use one for them at least, or put it in their bag. But these children carry so much load.
No, for me, I would just suggest that in the morning you use balm to just massage their ribs. So when you do that, it keeps them warm. They start sweating from inside. So when they are going, and then this period, every parent should put raincoats inside their bag. Whether it's going to rain or not, just put it there because the rain can
So,
hit them
You
either
just
way.
need to
Yeah,
plan
so it's just
ahead
to plan
for them,
ahead.
because they are
Like I said,
children.
vitamin C is very important. In fact, just give it to
Very,
them. Just let them be
very,
leaking. Even if they take 20, just allow them. Because
No,
it
don't
will
let them
help.
take 20.
No, but
If
at
you
least
take
10
500
That's
500
500 this in
milligrams, that is like 5 pieces at least, 5 pieces a day. Yes.
If you have
So
chubby
that is
children.
okay. Whether it's chubby or no chubby. Don't
But anyway, what we're trying to
Nutrition
say
of
is
doctors.
keep vitamin C very close.
It's
to
very
them.
important.
Very important.
Very important. And God will keep our children.
Definitely.
And also keep us safe. So as you're taking care of the children, make sure you are not taking too much cold water. At least try. All
Stay
those
blocks.
block chewers. I have many of them around me. They like
Just
crunching
say it.
and breaking
Stop beating
ice.
around the bush.
So
Say it.
please stay off block. Don't chew it. Don't be like some people.
Just say, call my name. It's not a matter of people. Just call my
Not only
name.
you. I have many
Call
of them
my
around me.
name. You don't call me.
I need to go and Iceman. Iceman. I'm going for Iceman. Come and help me. I'm waiting Iceman.
Okay, so this morning I want to send a birthday shout out to our princess Divine. Yeah, she clocked 12 years yesterday.
Wow, congratulations.
And you know, when this girl clocked 12, it just reminded me that, oh, babe, you're getting older because this is the girl that I saw her pregnancy stage and everything. And she clocked 12 years
Now you
yesterday.
going old. You are not going old. Is it you or?
No, far to be 12 years.
I beg, how much is my life?
It's the same birthday.
I'll celebrate out there. Whether they see you in or
Yeah.
not, we love you. To Princess, we love you. We wish you all the very best. And anyone celebrating any beautiful anniversary, yes, happy birthday. Please remind me. So, for anyone celebrating every good thing in their life today, never celebrate bad things. Always remember to celebrate the good, because the good gives you a clearer head, and you know, you'll be able to do more. You just be soaring high. You know, this level is past. That will be your portion this morning. That's not for our main feature. I will be right back, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. It's Family and Values. Each morning we have one of our own in the house. In short, our 1 year anniversary. Just get ready. And I'm pretty sure this place is going to take all of us, because we're going to have a whole load of people. I was just thinking about the way I was having my dad this morning. Say, hey, 1 year. Not with the glory. Great things he has done and great things he's yet to, unfold in our lives. Okay, so if you just tuning in, you've not missed anything. And so this morning we're discussing managing crises in relationships. I decided not to put marriage, because definitely our Wednesday is all about those who are married or still very much in the relationship, in the marriage relationship, the decision of marriage. But I want it to go round. So from marriage to courtship and still in that relationship. So managing crisis in relationships. And we have none other to discuss with us this morning, a certified relationship expert and a marriage coach. I will call him in fact. I love that name. Olabelekon. I want to be. But they call him Lekon. I don't want to be. It's so good to have you this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning. I don't know why you ran away from us. The that was welcome back.
No, I tell you, we didn't look for him.
We know where he was now. We saw the flag. Why are you
We
doing
saw
like
the
that?
flag.
We saw him waving the flag. Where he was.
Yes. And congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know what I told you now? I don't want to say it. You know you're used to me. Let me not say it. Just pass it and send. That's not. So not find a will. Pass it and send. Send your size. Don't worry. After everything goes, don't worry yourself. We don't need size for this one.
Okay, I want to be this morning. We're looking at managing crisis and relation, and I asked you a question first. So this is just a general question that popped up yesterday, and I actually wanted to clear the air on that.
Okay.
Now, celebrating, she said she saw it online, celebrating 10 years or 20 years of sad moments in your relationship. I mean, it's like an anniversary for you. Excuse me. Please, I know to me, maybe because it's me, but I believe that person still needs a touch of counseling, healing. Or what do you think?
I think that importantly, like you mentioned in your opening, it's always very important that the focus of our celebrations are positive things. Okay, so if someone is celebrating 10 years of breaking up with someone, that means that that vacuum has not been filled by something else. That's my thought. Because if something else had filled that experience, something else, because usually when people have trauma, what heals trauma is a positive experience. Okay, that's part of the healing process. So rather than focus on the trauma that you experience, so it's important that you focus on the healing that has happened. So if someone is still celebrating every year, you've noted it was on the February 14th that I broke up with somebody, and the year in year out you constantly celebrate that breakup. It means then that either you are not yet in another relationship that is worth celebrating, or you are still holding on to that experience. Okay, because there's no need to want to have a memory of a bad thing. There's no need for it. Okay, but if the person maybe once in a while remembers that, wow, today's even 7 years ago that God saved me from this experience, then that's a different mindset. But that you are celebrating consistently year out a bad experience that you had, it means that there's that direction, yes, that attention should not be given to that, yes, it shouldn't be given to that too much.
Okay, Joy.
Alright, now I would ask, because yesterday she said she was actually going to ask you that question. I thank God we've actually charged this out, because for me I don't like
Let's go to our today's talk.
normal. Anyway, how do you stay calm and objective in the course of a heated argument? Now we have a guest that said if she's having an argument while the partner is doing the talking, she is calm.
Okay.
She doesn't talk. She won't utter a word. For her, it's been like that. And you have some people that once the partner says Jack, the other person has failed. And that could now lead to a lot of aggressiveness, you know, somebody shouting. I'll give you a very simple example. For me, if I'm having an argument and it's getting heated, I'll take a walk. Now, so I could be like, you're insulting me, how dare you walk? But at that moment, that's the only thing. No, serious, that's the only thing I can phantom.
Okay.
That's the only thing that can come to my head, because standing there and listening to you saying words at me, even if you're my senior, you're my junior, maybe I can't talk back, or probably I can't defend myself. I feel like the only way out is to
work out on that.
But some people will feel that's an insult. You're working out on me, but how do you want to stay calm? Okay, I don't want to work out on you and you're saying everything and I'm just and you say, you're not talking, I'm talking to you and I'm like, what is your problem? Now tell me, how do one stay calm in the midst of all this?
Okay, so one thing that's very important is, or one thing that relationship does to us, relationships change us. See, there's a lot of change that occurs to us every time we get into a relationship or marriage, even official relationships. Every relationship has an effect on us as a person. Now, do you want to allow that effect or not? It's another question. Also, it's important that there's a standard of how to do things. Because if there's no standard and everybody says, me, I feel like this, me, I want to do this, me, this is how I respond. What happens is that there will be times when there's clash of personalities. Okay, so like we're saying, so if a person thinks that when we're in a heated conversation, I am quiet, and one person says, I walk away. Now imagine these two people getting married to themselves. What happens is that there will never be conversations in that house. Okay, because they are still operating from this is how I am. Now with relationship and marriage, you need to throw away this is how I am to what is best for our relationship. So that's very important that we get that. Then how do I keep calm in a very heated conversation? Now it's always best to provide solutions to things before those things happen. Now for, say, a relationship where they don't have what is called a communication culture or a conflict resolution culture, that is a particular way they solve their issues. Let's say they don't have that already, and then there's conversation. It's always important that when one party is speaking, the other party listens, because what the person said about keeping calm, it might work. But the question is, are you listening to this person? Okay, so and you are listening with the mind of, I have chosen to be with this person. Whatever they are saying means a lot to them. That's why they are shouting. Even if their shouting is not valid, you shouldn't be shouting at your spouse over anything. Okay, but now the person is shouting already, and they are shouting. Now, the receiving party can do two things. Either I can empathize with him or her and listen, and when they are done, I pick out, I acknowledge, okay, I see that you're upset about this, but allow me to say a few things. And then when you are now, when you've acknowledged what the person is upset about, you have diffused that situation. But if immediately you're responding with what is wrong, the person's defense is still up, and then we get back into a shouting match. Okay, so even if the person has said everything the person is basing their thoughts and shouting on is wrong, so I see that this really means a lot to you, and I'm glad that it means a lot to you. But can you allow me just correct a few things? And then this thing you heard was not like that. This was why I acted like this. So I'm sorry that you feel this way, but that information you got was not correct. That way communication, because communication has to happen. It has to happen. So it's always best that before you even get a relationship or marriage, you already have what is called this is how we talk to ourselves. But if you don't have that, it's not too late to always have that. Call your spouse and say, okay, we need to know how to talk to ourselves in this marriage. This is how we talk to ourselves in this relationship. When we are upset, this is how we do things. Because like you said, sometimes if you walk out on the person, generally people say that's insulting. Okay, so if the person's system is not to work out, automatically there's no explanation you can make.
You've created another
yes, do you understand? All together. Okay, so but we need to now have a standard of we've agreed that we will never work out on ourselves and we will allow ourselves to speak. It binds us. So every time we're having a conversation, we fall back to what has bound us, and that's the common ground.
We always have a common ground to have communication that will go round and everybody has smile at the end of the day, even though you started communicating and communicating. It's time for us to go for a short break, and we'll be right back. So when we'll take our way.
Okay, welcome back. It's the Family and Values. If you're just tuning in, sorry for that. But you can always catch up. Okay, after the program, you can always catch up. I came back again to follow our social media platform and watch and listen. And we've been discussing with Mutobi. We're talking on this topic, managing crisis in relationship and in suites.
Yeah, very interesting.
Okay, now I want to ask what strategies will promote a conciliation when we talk about strengthening the relationship? Or strategies to bring it to grow, to bring in, to adapt, to cultivate, to strengthen that relationship. Especially when it has to be an open argument.
Yeah.
What do we need to do? Just like you're telling her, you work out on the process better. Okay, let us agree, we're talking, we're discussing. Okay, I'll keep quiet to finish, then I'll take my own time. So, what other things do we need to, inculcate into that respect?
Okay. Okay, so maybe let me just mention quickly that when we say crisis in relationship, what we are implying is that there's been like an extended conflict. Okay, that is threatening, say, the stability and union of those people. Yeah. Okay, so say a one-time altercation, for example, we know there should be a crisis in that sense. We just be a conflict in one of something that happens. But if it begins to happen consistently over a chunk of time without a solution, then that's crisis. So one of the best strategies is to even avoid crisis. Okay. Now, many people focus on troubleshooting when we can avoid it, because really every time there's a crisis, we saw it coming. Okay. There has been, say for example, so there are signs you can see. If, for example, you are beginning to say a relationship, you are beginning to think about leaving a relationship, like you are thinking about cheating or leaving, something is wrong already. That's a sign. You are absent. Okay, there are marriages that people are living separate lives in parallel, even though they are living together, but 1 week we've not spoken to ourselves. That's a crisis. That's a crisis. Some people, they're in the same house for weeks, they don't talk to themselves physically, they chat. When they need one thing, you take the child to school, it's their chat, but they will pass themselves and not say anything. That's a crisis already. Okay, so be able to spot the signs of crisis that you feel you can't trust your partner again. When trust is broken, that's a crisis. When you can't find it easy to share something you are thinking about them. Say, for example, say you saw something on your phone and you can't ask. That's an issue already. So when people can't spot these things as crisis, it's one of those things. But it begins to accumulate until one day somebody blows up and then you come off wrong in that sense. So we need to first be able to spot signs of crisis. We need to find ways to be able to avoid crisis first. Now, how do you avoid crisis? What I was saying at the beginning, you must create a culture around your relationship, around your marriage. This is how we solve issues. We will always ensure that we can talk to ourselves about anything. This is when somebody is angry, they can ask for a timeout. Sometimes somebody wants to have a conversation, I don't want to talk about it. That's the problem. You can't just say I don't want to talk about it. You have to say something like, okay, give me 5 minutes. You have to be specific. Give me like 5 minutes, let me get myself together, I'll come back, I'll have this conversation. Say I don't want to talk about it already shuts out the other person, and that will escalate whatever is going on. Okay, so you need to be able to learn ways to de-escalate things. Now, number 3 is communication is very important. We can't overemphasize the importance of communication in all forms of relationship. If communication dies, the relationship cannot survive. Okay, so and that's usually the thing. When in a marriage crisis situation, for example, when you look at it over marriage, is that both parties are still willing to talk. If one person has stronger or two of them are stronger, that can't work. Okay, because one person cannot do marriage. So And that's really what people now term irreconcilable difference. There's really nothing like irreconcilable differences. It's just who is strongest. That I've simplified it.
I love that one.
That is strongest. There's nothing like it, because really, you knew we had differences before we married. That all human beings are different. But like, yes. Okay, so they're not like irreconcilable difference. It's just that I'm there to have strong head and have the way. And I'm not putting my foot down, I'm not going to shift, and then that marriage or relationship gets into disarray. So communication is very, very important. I think that you can talk then. And then maybe more for the other things. But when you now see that you've tried a long time to solve an current issue, seek professional help. Now, men in particular have issues with reaching out to counselors or seeking for help. So, but maybe it's because of maybe a sense of ego. Sometimes it feels like a man is losing control. It is external help. But no, it's courage to seek help. It's just that you
want that marriage to work.
Yes, you're invested in that relationship. Yeah, because if a man is having issues with his business, you seek professional help. You go and meet one business mentor. You go and pay for one 150K course to solve that issue.
If he has a spiritual problem, he
do you understand? So why is it that when you're in marriage, you now think that you don't want to bring in somebody that can help us? Okay, and sometimes people make the mistake of now maybe talking to family members. Family member is not always the best people to help you in a marriage situation. Okay, because there is some sense of bias there. So seek a professional help, somebody that their focus is, I want to help your marriage, not you. Because sometimes the decisions that will solve that problem will offend one person. It will mean that we laugh. One person has to drop what they want and come together. Because sometimes we say 50-50. Relationships, marriages is not always 50-50. There's no middle ground. Somebody crosses to the other side to make things work. And people need to realize that.
Okay, now, in the course of conversation, you were talking about trust. And, you and I know that trust is one thing that has sent a lot of relationship packing, a lot of marriage packing. Now, relationship, even within siblings, within co-workers, when that trust is broken. Now, how do you, or should I say, can you give us the steps to rebuilding trust and a crisis? You know, because let's talk about infidelity now. Now, because we can't be talking about crisis without talking about that, because that's one of the key things. We talked about somebody not wanting to talk about what's happening with somebody's phone. Let's assume a partner sees a nude picture of another person in the phone and is asking, "Oga, kilo shele, what's happening?" And you say, it's one of those things. Now gradually she's losing trust, and then she starts becoming very inquisitive, and suddenly her instincts now lead her into finding out that you're actually having an affair. It might not really be with the person on that phone, but with someone else. Now automatically that trust is broken, and there are crises. For such a couple, partners, how do they rebuild that trust back? How do the man or the woman, both sides, tell the partner that don't worry, it will not happen again. I'm here. I love you to the moon and back. How do we rebuild that trust? Because somebody like me, when you're saying all that one, in my inner mind I'll say, hey, I'm storing records for you because I'm not scared. Every little thing I become very overprotective suddenly. If I was the type that was not always conscious of certain things, now I'm looking out for little stains, you know. So how do we rebuild such
for infidelity? It's a big deal, and the healing process usually does not happen overnight, but I tell people it is possible to come back with full trust from infidelity. Yes, it has happened, and it is happening. It is possible to come back from that. I think sometimes, particularly in marriage vows, it's like even when we are saying the things we are saying during those vows, a part of us does not fully understand what we are saying.
The vow.
Yes.
We talked about it. And you
we said it.
Yes, we talked about
it. like we don't fully understand, because when you say, because now so what to make it finer, they say in plenty and in wealth. Because normally we say in lack,
Better for worse.
better for worse, better for. That is this is real life. Real life, even with your siblings, you have altercations. Do you understand? So what makes you think that it will always be better? It will only be good times. Now, of course, infidelity is a stretch that anybody should not do. That is why in that vow they put in life and death, in sickness and in health. So the person may not be sick as per bodily sick, but infidelity put it under sickness.
Put it on that sickness.
Yes.
Part of the sickness.
Yes. Now, except that erring partner, the partner that is at wrong, is not willing, and they are, like you said, they are saying it's one of these things. A man is not monogamous. Then that person has a problem. Okay, you can't help that person in that situation. But if it's a situation where the person made a mistake, okay, now how does he make mistakes, and that different conversation, okay, because it's not even a mistake. Really, cheating is not a mistake. It's calculated.
How to understand?
It's calculated. You knew what you were doing.
That is calculated.
You went to petrol station, you filled your car, you drove there.
Yeah.
So it was not
And
a
then
mistake.
that is a mistake.
I reflected motive.
Yes,
Because you
it's
already came to your
motive. Do you get? So, and that's really what affects the other party, because they think about, you made this decision despite how close they are supposed to be. So one thing that happened to the other partner is they begin to doubt everything that person has ever said. So there's trust. Everything they've ever believed just begin to crush down. Now, how do we solve it? Number one thing is there has to be willingness from the party that was wronged. Yes, you have to be willing to say, I have loved this person. When I said my vows, when I chose to be with them, I indeed meant that, for better, for worse. It will be tough, but I am willing to make us work. That is this. From the erring partner.
Okay.
That's where we start from.
From the erring partner,
Yes.
because
From the erring partner.
partner.
Okay. No, I'm not saying yes, from the erring partner. Now, from the partner that was wronged as well, the same thing. You have to first say that, you have to acknowledge that this thing pain you. Because some people try to, now if a woman particularly, or even any man or woman, if they are ignoring the pain and saying it's okay, that's even more dangerous.
That's not that. That's the end.
Okay, because they can live with you, but they are emotionally disconnected.
Yeah.
And there are many marriages like that, that just sealed, everybody just doing their own thing. But if the person that was wrong, that was pained, please say, this thing you did doesn't make sense, and I'm pained, but I am willing to forgive you. And it may take a while, but I'm willing to forgive you. So that willingness from the person to forgive, they've not forgiven yet, but they are willing to forgive. And then the willingness from the person that wronged them, that went to cheat, to be put under anything the person says. Like, whatever you ask me to do, I will do, to make you know that I will not do it again. Now, the issue is, most times, when a man cheats, he still wants to form boss and not put himself under the, yes. Okay, so if the man now begins to, so there now be some things that we now need to do to say, okay, this is how you went to go and mess up. We need to block all those loopholes. Say, for example, things like your phone now, you need to have access. Your wife needs to have access to it. The password to your Instagram is now here, so that when you're on Instagram for 1 hour, it shuts down. It is you need to go on, you need to go and meet the other person to give you the password for it. Now, if they give you or they don't give you, it's left to them. Now, because you need to be able to give the person that was wronged some because at that point they feel like they don't have any control over anything. But when you give them a level of control, it keeps them safe. They feel a sense of safe. Okay, maybe this can work. And then both must now be willing to go for therapy, to go for counseling.
Before Lorica, what if it's a case of is one good secretary that knows her work very well and she's bringing in the millions in your company and she's following you everywhere, and you say, Oga, I want you to sack the secretary.
They remove the secretary.
Okay.
Yes, because
for the relationship to work.
yes, so it always comes to the what value, and because that's one of the things we even talk about the marital counseling. People need to understand the hierarchy of importance. Is my marriage more important to me than my job, or my career is more important than my marriage? Now, for some people, their career is more important than their marriage, so they will not sacrifice anything in their career to make their marriage work. Now, if you marry a person like that, God will help you. Okay, like there's almost nothing you can do about that. But for a person that says that my marriage is more important than my job, they would always consistently, they won't mind making sacrifices on the job just to ensure that this works. So all these are things that will be unraveled when they both counseling. Yeah.
We talked about trust, losing trust. We talked about not having good communication.
Yeah.
I also want to look at the emotional and physical causes. What can you share with us on that in the area of management?
When there's crisis, yeah. So I think it's part of the fallout. Now, most times, sometimes you see in movies where somebody gets heartbroken and then they go and drink sniper and die. Things like that. Now, these are real things. Okay, why? Because usually there's no emotional. Allow me with emotional intelligence. People must understand that you own emotions. Emotions do not own you. Okay, you know, as an aside, when women say that they have mood swings, it's lack of this understanding as well. You've allowed your mood own you. Because if I own this wristwatch, I can decide whether to wear it on my right or my left. Or to give it to you. Okay, in that sense. But if the wristwatch owns me, if it stops working, all over the place. If it's working, I'm happy. It's not the one controlling me. That's the same way it is with emotions. So when people have been too emotionally attached to people, and then there's a crisis. Some people don't eat. They can't eat physically. Some people even outrightly fall sick. Okay. Some, of course, go to the extreme of wanting to jump or commit suicide. Why? Because our emotions are tied to our lives in that sense. So if we don't control it, we give access to it, different things can happen physically. Some people even cut themselves. Like you get so it's important. That's why it's very, very important. You don't make decision of who to give your heart to anyhow. It's important.
That again. Let them
decision of
New Jersey is that I love you. I love you.
It's not. You know, sometimes when we say I love you, we what we mean is always different. When we say I love you, we mean I have chemistry with you. How people say, how people mean in that I'm excited when I see you. My heart is beating fast when I see you. My hands are sweating when I see you. I smile. But that cannot sustain a relationship. Not just even marriage. When I say I love you, what I love you means is I choose you irrespective of what you do to me. One of the questions I ask people when they come to counseling is, I ask the guy that, can you give this girl everything you have without feeling like you've done anything for her? Without feeling like you've done a good thing.
Yeah.
If your answer is yes, then you shouldn't be in this relationship. I tell the girl too, can you go down on your knees and wash this guy's feet and not feel like a servant? If your answer is you can't feel like that, then don't marry. Because is that I'm saying that irrespective of who you are, of how you are, I am choosing you. That is love. Is a choice we make. Is a commitment we make. Not the flickering things. But love is that you are vexing me. I'll go to the shopping mall, buy you a gift and say just because.
Like Johnson now, you're vexing me. That was telling me I want to see.
That is commitment. That is commitment. So sometimes we throw I love you up and down. And then I think that sometimes we live in a world where there is very little love. So anytime somebody else says I love you, Yeah.
But the chemistry work, you heard that.
Yeah. And that's why this principle is very important. Family and values. Families must be that when you tell a boy or a girl outside you love them, they've heard so much "I love you" at home that they're like, you cannot love me. Sometimes I come off like pride, but is being confident in who you are as a person.
Wow.
You cannot meet me and not love me, because that is how I am. Yes, that's how I was groomed. I'm a lovable person normally. Yes, so you should love me. Do you get? So it's a privilege that I have your love. Yeah, but whether you give, whether you tell me or not, really, I know I'm loved in that sense. So when people have that nature, no matter what somebody gives you, what somebody gifts you, what somebody calls you, tells you, sweetheart, all of that, it doesn't get here. You access it. Even when you're calling me sweetheart, I check a few things. How you spoke to me, how you greet it, because sometimes you can say sweetheart and in their mind there's something else. All that. So you go beyond the words, the emotions. You open up the layer and you see what is really behind the scene. But when people are very, very surface, there are a lot of surface relationships these days. Just surface things, surface things. Any small thing will disappear. Any small thing will disappear. No money, pong. Any small argument, I don't love him again. All that.
Without money, there is no love. Without money, there is no love.
There's all that. So there's a real work that needs to be done. Even from families, let people see real love. Let them see, let children, let teenagers, let adults, let them see commitment. Let them see people that stick together, irrespective of what's going on, and then they will learn to say, okay, things can work. Because really, when we check our jobs, even when your boss is stressing you, you are looking for, how do I make boss happy? How do I? But when it comes to your relationship, you're like, I'm not just.
Are you ready to do the same?
You must be able to do the same.
Your job. If you are going into bad debt, you find a way to.
How do I get this done?
Repeating back.
Yeah.
You know, you do. What do you do? Giveaways and all that, because you don't want to go out.
Yeah.
So why can't you do giveaway in your love also? Yeah, you do give away. That is, you give out those things that it's not, that will create crisis.
Yes.
You give them
Let
away.
them go.
You let them go. So God will help us. So thank you so much.
In fact,
oh God, there's a giveaway in love. You said that. There's a giveaway in love. For you to have the love you really desire and you want, and you will enjoy for the rest of your life, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to get through you fast. There's a giveaway. Those are the things you need to get out of that relationship. Thank you so
Before
much.
we let go, one, I'll always disturb you. Just one word for our viewers out there.
Oh
Because
my
you
God.
can relate to it. Just next time you're telling me you love me, please let it come.
Oh my God. Let's go.
So your final words.
Okay. I like to say that bad things happen, unfortunately, because we live in a world that is humans that control it in that sense. But you can insulate your relationships and marriages. You can make things work. You can come back from a bad experience. Don't allow the trauma of the past make you cancel out on true love. Be able to open your heart to experience true love. Open your heart to be able to make commitments to love. And in the end, I believe that you would find the love that you deserve. Thank you.
Whoa, in the end, you will find the love that you deserve. That is coming from our certified counselor. That's why sometimes you need to go for counseling classes. It's not everything you just think you know. It's important. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
All
me.
right, thank you very much for being a part of Family and Value this morning. My name's remain Princess Joy Ayo Abu. I'll see you tomorrow on Healthy Thursday. See?
Tomorrow is going to be another beautiful day, and by the grace of God, you and I will not be missing. Nothing broken, nothing missing. And so we're discussing how to improve your eyesight. For those of us who are jiggy like this, let it be fall out. This one is my own jiggy. You might have different content. And our guests who also have. For those of you who have screens like me. So we're talking about how to improve your eyesight. And fortunately, tomorrow is World Sight Day as well. So we're doing this to encourage you to know that there are ways you can actually help, even though you are using this, to also inculcate certain things to improve that eyesight. So sometimes you can just remove it and just go on just your reading. God bless you as we see tomorrow. I wish you the very best to all. everybody inside the studio from Johnson to Crown, Magdalene, Tonya, Zio, Covenant, famous. I am so intelligent. Thank you to our president. A big shout out to Mr. Teslim, Mr. Diwale, and our darling Mr. Jolly. God bless you. MC, I greet you before you take my voice. I greet you now. Thank you so much. Hope to see you tomorrow. We love you. My name is Shireen Oluradejo Kabizebi. Hope to see you tomorrow. Love you.